I'm 37 years old. I am a graduate student here at CSU Stanislaus. My sexuality, I'm bisexual. My story begins a long time ago when I was in elementary school. And it was the first time that I had experienced those butterfly feelings with someone of the same sex. I had always had crushes on, little boys on the playground and stuff, but I had this one instance where this little girl had come over and was helping me with an assignment in class, and I started getting that feeling in my chest, and I didn't want her to leave. And I thought it was, and never said anything to anybody, but she always caught my attention from that point on. And of course at that time I didn't really realize what that was. It wasn't until many, many years later when I was in high school that I started developing feelings for a girlfriend of mine. And this one time I had spent the night at her house, and we were kind of horsing around and stuff, and I ended up laying we were face to face, and I had this feeling that I wanted to kiss her. And then at that time, she had ended up looking at me, and she kind of pushed me, and she's like, "Stop being weird," And it kind of hurt me, and at the same time I was just kind of like, "Oh, okay, So then I guess that kind of started making me confused about things even more, because I wasn't sure if I was just being weird or if these were valid feelings that I had, or if I was just confused. A few years after that, I had met my ex-husband, and he was a member of the Mormon church, and I had gotten involved in that church, and I was involved in that church for about 10 years, and so I really did suppress that side of my sexuality throughout that whole time. And I had, there was this one point during that time period where the church had ended up handing out petitions to all the members to go out, and it was before the Proposition 8 thing had come about. It was a long time ago. My daughter was a baby at the time. It was probably 15 years ago, 14 years ago. But they handed out petitions for us to go out and have people sign that stated, that they did not agree with same-sex marriage, and that it shouldn't be legal. And so it was a large, sign-up petition sheet that I had to go around, and I remember going with my ex-husband from door to door, and it was one of the first times that I felt so much hatred from people. And I know that they were only saying things to me because they thought that I felt the same way that they did. But I was so uncomfortable. I think I probably only got maybe 2 or 3 signatures, and I told my ex-husband, I can't do this. And of course, he was a very devout member, is still a very devout member of that church, and so he decided to take my petition, and he went and he went door to door and had people sign it for me and turned it in so it looked like I had done my job, And at that same time, the Mormon Church had come out with this statement that was called a proclamation to the world, and I cannot tell you verbatim what it said, but it was basically stating their position on same-sex marriage, that it would ruin the sanctity of marriage and so forth. And the president of the church had asked every member of the church to frame this document and set it up in their home for everybody to see, so that we, or they could, everybody that was a member in the church could state, this is how we feel about this. And we had it up in our house, and I remember all the time it sat up on this speaker, so it was kind of almost like it was on a pedestal of our home, and I was so uncomfortable with it being there. One thing led to another. I ended up getting out of that particular faith. It still has been, since that point, this kind of conditioning that I've kind of had to overcome, where I was not like self-hating or self-loathing about that side of me, about my sexuality. And a couple of years ago, I had taken a course here at Stanislaus, and my professor in the course, we were talking about identity issues, and he had come out to the classroom stating that he was a bisexual man. And at the time, that was very surprising to me. I was shocked a little, but I was very happy that he did that, because it was like one of the first instances that I felt like, okay, this is not taboo. This is, you know, sexuality is not a taboo subject. I was always taught that it was, and this was the first time that somebody had shown me that it wasn't. And about a year after that, I had started to accept, you know, more and more my sexuality and my feelings that I had towards both men and women. And I ended up talking to my teenage daughter about it. She was about 13 years old, probably going on 14. And we were sitting in the car, and I told her, I'm like, honey, Mommy needs to talk to you about something, and I don't know if it's necessarily an okay thing that I talk to you about this, but this is who I am, and I love you, and I want you to love me no matter what. So I want to be able to talk to you about stuff. And she's like, you said the same thing, yeah, Mommy, I want to be able to talk to you too. Okay, so we sat down and we had this conversation, and I basically came out to her and I told her that I was bisexual. And she was just embraced that. She just thought it was the best thing ever that I was actually talking to her about something that was so personal. And she loved that. And she said, it doesn't matter who I love, I'm still the same person, you know, and I was just so proud of her for that. And I'm going to get a little teary-eyed, because I thought that was like the best moment, I think, in my entire life. And because of her, and because of my professor, I'm 37 years old, but I'm still going through that process of coming out. And I've started telling some of my family, not all of my family. I know that there's going to be some people that will not accept it, and I'm okay with that now. So now that I'm in college and I'm older and I have my children, I am able to actually step out and embrace this side of myself, and know that it doesn't matter, like not everybody is going to like me, and that's okay, because the people that are the ones that mean the most to me and that love me will accept me, no matter, you know, no matter who I am. Well, they'll accept me because I'm me. No matter how hard it might seem, no matter how many years you're going through, hiding something about yourself, maybe your sexuality, something, it's okay. You know, there's going to be people that you'll interact with that will love you for you, and everybody goes through something where they feel like they need to be accepted. And when it comes to, you know, embracing your sexuality, I said this once before, I'll say it again, at the end of the day, you always will have you, and so you need to accept yourself first, and love yourself, and understand that you know, you might get people that will say negative things towards you, but you always need to look towards the positive, and embrace the people that are positive in your life. And so it does get better.